What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets and Rob. How is everybody doing? Before we get talking about the serious interest the New York Mets and David Stern has in Luis Severino, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button if you enjoy my content. Want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So the often injured, the highly talented, and a pitcher who can't repeat his delivery, the Mets have serious interest in former New York Yankee Luis Severino. I know that doesn't excite Mets fans and make them go crazy and have an exciting offseason, but he is another low risk, high reward free agent pitcher that could possibly be outstanding as like a 4 or number 5. I don't think Luis Severino, in David Stern's mind, is a guy that you're going to slot him in as the number 3 starter or the number 2 starter. That would be probably a complete disaster. But with the low risk, high reward situation that Luis Severino is, he is only 29 years old, going into his 30-year-old season. He's had outstanding starts and he had terrible starts. He had outstanding seasons and terrible seasons. He had a lot of injured seasons as well. But he might have on a 1-year deal, Mets fans, and getting him on a 1-year, $10 million deal, proven type of deal at his age 30 season and looking for a big time contract, the Mets might get that high reward with that low risk contract. And this is a situation where if the Mets do sign Yamamoto and sign another middle rotation guy, Severino can easily slot in as a number 4 pitcher in this rotation or a possible 5. And the Mets are set up rotation wise with a very good rotation. Luis Severino, I wouldn't trust him, but on a 1-year prove it type of deal, it's a very low risk. If he's not working out, you can easily just, DFA him, eat the money for that 1 year. It's not the end of the world. But with Luis Severino upside, and if the new developmental team with the New York Mets under David Stearns, and to figure out his terrible mechanics and find a way to hit for him to repeat his mechanics, because that's been the huge problem other than the injury situations with Luis Severino. It's been not being able to repeat his mechanics. And the Yankees have had a hard time, not just with him, but with multiple pitchers that are currently with the Yankees and pitchers that have left the Yankees that talked about them wanting certain pitchers to pitch a certain way and not deviating from that. And I do think with Severino being in another team, yes, still New York, but being out of the shadow of the New York Yankee pinstripes, I think can only help him. If he can repeat his mechanics, I think that can help him stay healthy and pitch to his capabilities. He's got outstanding electric stuff. If I can get him on a 1-year, $10 million prove it deal, I think there is no doubt the Mets and David Stern should do that. Luis Severino is outstanding when healthy. The problem is the mechanical issues causing him to be the often injured pitcher that he was throughout his Yankee career. Something to look at, guys, but I want to look at Luis Severino's contract situation where a 1-year deal, can the Mets get him on a 1-year, $10 million? Could they give a 1 year with a team option for the second year? That's something where the Mets have to look at. And I do think the New York Mets could get him on a 1-year deal, but I have no problem giving him a 2-year deal with a second-year team option that if he pitches well, you can take on that team option, and then you have a guy that's only be 31 years old at the time in your rotation for the next 2 years. I think that's a really good way to look at it. But to look at his contract in this way is just low risk. I don't think there's any risk with the Mets. I do think that if he doesn't perform, you just DFA him and you eat that money. It's not a big time contract. And I do think it's best case scenario for the Mets to do that as a back end of the rotation type of guy. But let's look at his career stats with the New York Yankees. Last year was a complete disaster. He pitched in 19 games. He was injured, had a 6.65 ERA. That is not good at all. A ton of home runs, 23 home runs, 66 earned runs, 34 walks. Wasn't a good season at all, often injured. When he did pitch, wasn't good. But if you look at 2022, he was also injured, had 19 starts, but basically cut his ERA in half in 2022 with a 3.18 ERA. What the difference was in 2022 to 2023 was his mechanics. He was lifting his leg a lot higher in 2022 than he did in 2023, and it was never fixed. What he was doing well in 2022, he completely did differently in 2023. I don't know if Yankees pitching coach or whoever was supposed to be watching his mechanics wasn't paying attention or wasn't doing a good job looking at it and figuring that out. It was actually very noticeable if you just look at 2022 mechanics for Luis Severino in 2023. The left leg that he puts up before he releases the ball and drives to the plate is a dramatic difference. Extremely much higher in 2022 than in 2023. I don't think he's getting enough push off. I don't think he's getting enough leverage. His mechanics were all screwed up in 2023 compared to 2022, and he had a better season in 2022. Again, if you look at parts of 2022, the mechanics started to, when he struggled, started to get screwed up in 2022. But when his mechanics were right, he was outstanding. I think the mechanics can help him stay healthy along with pitching to his capability with his electric stuff if he can repeat his mechanics. Now, some pitchers never figure it out. It looked like Luis Severino can't figure it out. But is it the Yankees that has screwed him up? Or was it just Luis Severino not being the type of pitcher that can repeat his delivery? I would be willing to take that low risk, high reward chance on Luis Severino on a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with a team option in the second year. That's what I would do if I was the New York Mets and David Stearns. I would have no problem putting him as the 4th or 5th starter, giving him a chance on a low risk, high reward contract for the New York Mets. Luis Severino, serious interest from the Mets. What do you guys think, Mets fans? Do you think the Mets should sign Luis Severino to a low-risk contract, 1 year, possible 2-year with a team option on like a $9, $10, $11 million deal? And if he doesn't work out, he looks bad as he did with the Yankees, you get rid of him and you eat that contract. I don't think it's the worst situation in the world. You can do a lot worse. The Mets have had problems with injuries in their rotation in the past, so that is worrisome. But with David Stearns at the helm, different people looking at him, Hefner has been very good with helping with mechanics with the pitchers over the last couple of years. I do think Luis Severino could be, I don't say an ace-type pitcher and get him at a low-risk contract, but I think he could be good enough to be in the back end of the rotation, and to get a guy with that electric stuff can be outstanding on the back end of that rotation. What do you guys think, Mets fans? Do you think the Mets should take a chance on Luis Severino on a 1-year, 2-year team option type of deal? Or just forget about it and go elsewhere? Let me know in the comments, guys. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. You enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video, go live, post a short, everything throughout this offseason, all the breaking news for our New York Mets during this offseason. Once again, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, Mets fans, let's go Mets.